I'm here with Geoff Livingston. He's the Chief Strategy Officer of a Cognitive Path, and I'm so excited that you're here at the first GNRT.
Yeah, it's very cool, right?
It's very cool, and I'm really excited to hear a little bit about what you're thinking about in terms of today. It's almost like a one-on-one. It's like smaller groups. People are really learning a lot, upskilling. So what are you hoping that everyone is kind of coming here today with, but then also taking with them as they move on from, tomorrow, the next day, what they're going to be thinking about?
Yeah, so I imagine because of your work, there's a lot of discussion, there's a lot of promise with AI. But I feel like what we're seeing today is people actually getting down to brass tacks, right? Actually talking about implementing AI, getting through some of the hyperbole, if you would, and really getting their hands on the keyboard and feeling how these apps work in their actual work life and their actual tasks.
Because there's a lot of hype.
Oh, too much.
There's too much hype, in your opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a game to get valuations up for companies, and then there's the reality of how this stuff works at the workplace.
But could it be a good thing that there's a little bit of hype, because it is making people excited about it? But then what is your concern about there being too much hype?
Yeah, I think it's good when it excites people and makes them feel like this is something cool and I want to try it, right? I don't like the hype when it's maybe somebody such as Sam Altman saying, you're going to lose 90% of your workforce because AI is going to replace them. When in reality, that's not very likely. I mean, we will see some job transitions, but I feel like that's overhyped.
It can be scary.
It can be very scary, right? And plus, I mean, look, you're a media person. I'm traditionally a media person. So think about this. We've named the technology movement after something that also was featured in a movie called 2001, HAL 9000, The Terminator, The Matrix, on and on and on and on. So there's a lot of tropes that come with it. And so there's a lot of navigation that I have to do with my clients to get them to really see what this stuff is.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Absolutely. And there's a lot of discussion between is AI going to be great? Is it going to be bad? And Hollywood has really taken a big part in this, because you mentioned the movies, but then there's also Star Trek that showed kind of the positive side of technology and advancements. So it's almost like you have to kind of overcome people's Hollywood expectations of AI.
Right. And if you think about the way people consume media, usually that initial concept is what resonates with them and they walk around with it. So funny thing is, usually what I say is, okay, let's put down the pixie dust and let's talk about your top applications at work. If your top application at work could suddenly compute a little bit faster or handle some of these tasks that you hate engaging with it automatically, would you do it?
Yeah, if it's something that you really hate, right, then it's well, you might as well let AI do it. But I guess people
100%,
are worried that it's going to take away the part of the job that they actually love.
Absolutely not. I don't think it will. In some cases it might, again, where there's something like, for example, I guess if you're at work at the government printing office, right, and you really enjoy reviewing congressional testimony, that might be difficult for you.
Well, doesn't everyone enjoy that?
Oh my God, that's so much fun.
And there might be some people who really do, right? But when it comes to a lot of the tedious stuff or repetitive stuff,
those tasks.
This is where you're talking to companies and you're talking to different people about here's how we can use AI to your advantage.
Yeah, it's usually very, very narrow too, right? This isn't big thinking stuff, right? This is usually very narrow tasks, like routing a customer service ticket to the right person, or automatically sending somebody a receipt, or registering a conversation that occurred in a community that's on the same topic as the sessions I also attended at a trade show conference for my member organization.
Yeah, so those are some really great real use examples.
Exactly.
What kind of questions are you hearing from people here at GNRT?
Oh boy, I'm hearing first of all, is there going to be artificial general intelligence, right? Which is, for everybody that doesn't know what that term is, that's sentient AI, or AI that can think on its own. And my answer is usually no way. I mean, I think we heard just the Microsoft CTO this week, former first CTO of Microsoft, say, we need only 5 miracles to get to AGI. And this is one of those things where it's being marketed very aggressively by Silicon Valley, and the definition keeps changing of what AGI is.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So it's okay, I think in a lot of cases, what we're talking about is almost like an automation, right? It's if this then that is suddenly a sentient being. I don't think so. So
it's
yeah.
a fascinating time, though, with
Yes.
artificial intelligence and so many people getting into it, because there are companies who maybe have been using AI for a while. You've been, in the AI space for a while. A lot of people are new, but also a lot of companies and people are saying, okay, I've been doing this, but I think it's time to step it up.
I agree. I think that's a big mistake that we're seeing too, is a lot of people just still dabbling and unsure. And if you really think about it, and I know you know this too, I think the rubber hits the road when you really power your apps with analytics, right? And a lot of that traditional machine learning, unsexy AI. That AI is just kind of like,
did you just invent a term, by the way?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like kind of like the anti-Justin Timberlake AI, I guess, whatever it is, the one that's not popular, right? The one that people don't really want to get into.
Okay.
That's where it's at. And that requires people to clean up that data attic, and get everything cleaned up inside the enterprise and really organize everything more. And, if you can do that, if you can clean up your information stack, your technology stack, you're going to be in a really good place with this stuff, because it's not just generative AI. It's fueling every activity with smart customer-based analytics.
And then picking a lane as well, because I think right now we're hearing of all these different things that AI can do. And me as a journalist, I'm showing everybody, AI can do this, it can do that, it can do this. But would you recommend that companies start with one thing, see how it goes? Or like what would the roadmap look like?
So this is exactly what we do, is we literally take all their ideas and then we weigh them against their mission and also where they're at with their technology stack, and we score them.
Okay.
And then you literally see the ones that are most valuable to what you're actually trying to achieve as a business. To me, it shouldn't be about the technology. It should be, what am I trying to do as a business person or a media person or whatever it is in my life task is. Even a runner, I use AI for my running, right? What am I trying to achieve? And then find the tools that best help it.
And there are a lot of tools out there.
Yes, there are.
What would where to start is what a lot of people have questions about. A lot of businesses are hearing, well, XYZ is using this, maybe we need to use this too.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about just where to get started, especially if somebody's saying, maybe I've been dabbling, but I need to focus.
Yeah. So I think the first place to actually begin, most people start with ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. I don't really love ChatGPT. I like Claude, just putting that out there. But I think if you're really focused on energizing your business, it's going to start with your CRM or wherever you're keeping your customer or your outreach data. And if you can focus on the problems that you have with that particular piece of technology or that information, if you're not using a technology stack, that's where you really need to really put your eyes on, because it'll tell you where to go with the next level of app, the next level of AI tool.
What brought you to the AI space? Like, what was it that you're like, I really like this.
I'm a
want
nerd,
to do
man.
more of it.
I love nerdy things, and this is as nerdy as it gets. This is all me, man.
You mentioned some movies and everything, and I know that that's sometimes an influence as well. I mean, you were influenced by what you saw growing up.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, so favorite AI movie, maybe?
Sure.
It's got to be Star Wars.
Okay.
It's got to be Star Wars, because first of all, you have like all the analytics with the Death Star and the X-Wing fighters, and then Darth Vader's definitely AI driven. At least he's alive because of AI, and then Luke is too. I mean, it's awesome, good, bad, all of it.
Do you find yourself explaining some of these harder concepts in terms of things like Star Wars?
For sure. I mean, most definitely. But I think Star Trek is probably the better universe for that, because it's more of a utopian universe.
Well, there's still the Borg,
There is the Borg. I mean, and the reality is AI is like any other tool. It can be used for good or for bad. But generally speaking, I mean, we're just talking about machine learning and analytics. Even with LLMs, it's still a probability choice. That's why you get the hallucinations. I don't know what the answer is, so I'm going to probably give you the best chance of an answer. Yeah.
Right. This is so fascinating.
Yeah.
We could talk about this all day long. What do you want to make sure that people take with them, the big takeaway from an event like GNRT?
It absolutely has to be about your mission. It absolutely has to be about what you as an organization or you as an individual are trying to do, right? And if you can focus your energy with these tools on that, then you'll be successful.
Geoff, thank you so much.
I appreciate your time, Lindsey, and congratulations on your new channel.
Well, thank you.